For many, this is an issue that carries with it awful connotations. According to the Center for Disease Control.gov, 1/3 of America's population is obese. Specifically, 34.9% of people suffer from obesity. Now, this is about 1 out of every 3 people you meet are going to be obese. So the justification for this topic is clear. There are so many people who are obese throughout America. We must understand this problem and take the necessary actions in order to combat it. My proposition for the speech is that because this is such a prominent issue, we need to find a way to prevent it through the appropriate actions necessary. A quick overview of my points. First, we're going to talk about what exactly obesity is, how it's defined, and how we can combat it. Second, we'll look at what the appropriate steps are needed to combat it. And finally, we'll look at visualization. What does it look like if we take these steps, and what does it look like if we fail to do so? So let's get into it. First, we need to define obesity. Before we look at how we can attack this issue and prevent it, we need to understand exactly what it is. According to the Obesity Coalition, it is defined as a condition that is associated with having an excess amount of body fat, defined by genetic and environmental factors that are difficult to control when dieting. Obesity increases your risk of developing related conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, and sleep apnea, to name a few. So in the delineation of this topic, we have a definition, but we also need to understand what it is not. It's not just fat or genetics. These can be overcome. Rather, it consists of a lifestyle, poor choices, and it's personal. What is obese for me may be completely different for somebody else. Second thing we need to look at in understanding obesity is how it has causes and effects. The two main causes, and there are many more, but the two I'm going to focus on are inactivity and poor diet. So inactivity, according to Mayo Clinic, is defined as if you're not very active, you don't burn very many calories. With a sedentary lifestyle, you can easily take in more calories every day than you use through exercise and normal daily activities. In addition to this, the Center for Disease Control has a correlation between inactivity and obesity. And no, correlation does not equal causation, but it certainly doesn't help. States where residents are the least likely to be physically active in their free time are Alabama, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. Now what's interesting about this is 4 of those 6 states I just named are ranked in the top 10 most obese states. So again, correlation does not equal causation, but it's hard to deny that inactivity plays a significant role within obesity. So the second thing we're going to look at is poor diet, how your diet can affect your health in this area. In a quote taken from NHS.uk, it says, "Most cases of obesity are caused by eating too much and moving too little." Simple. If you consume high amounts of energy from your diet but do not burn off the energy through exercise and physical activity, the surplus energy is turned into fat. And Harvard School of Public Health says, what's become the typical Western diet, frequent large meals high in refined grains, red meat, unhealthy fats, and sugary drinks, plays one of the largest roles in obesity. So poor diet is a contributing factor, but it's not just diet. It's diet coupled with inactivity. If you're taking in all these calories and you're not burning them off, then you're going to end up in this state. So obviously obesity is a major problem. Millions are dying every year from it, actually. World Health Organization has a statistic that says 65% of the world's population live in a country where obesity and overweight kills more people than underweight. All the time, especially in the media, I think we hear about how there's the starving children overseas. But what we find is the data actually shows that more people are dying from obesity and being overweight than they are from underweight or starvation. In addition to this, millions of people contract numerous diseases, other diseases as a result. So obesity doesn't help anything. It just brings on more diseases. We already heard about a few: hypertension, sleep apnea, diabetes is often associated with obesity. So when you're obese, it only makes you more susceptible and more likely to contract other diseases. And finally, obesity destroys the quality of life. The Law Dictionary defines quality of life as the daily activities that people partake that have been enhanced by external factors. These factors are natural factors such as good water, clean air, outdoor activities, and open spaces. When you're obese, plain and simple, you can't have this. Saj Rajet, a doctor from surgerybyKeyhole.company.uk, says, obesity destroys quality of life and reduces life expectancy. Short and sweet. So that covers what obesity is and how we need to combat it. Now it's time to look at the appropriate steps we need to take in order to combat obesity. In short, this requires a plan of action. We need to take steps to avoid obesity yourself, and you need to take steps to spread awareness to others of how to deal with this. When it comes to avoiding obesity yourself, exercise often and maintain a healthy lifestyle. It sounds simple, but it's always harder when you actually get down to it. Stanford Hospital includes a list of things to prevent obesity. This includes eating fruit and vegetables daily, weighing yourself regularly, avoiding high energy and density foods, and remaining active for at least 45 minutes a day. It's okay to have this intake of calories, but you need to be burning calories as well. And in addition to this, we need to spread awareness on obesity. If people don't know that this is an issue, they're not going to do anything to stop it or to prevent it. The way you can spread awareness is get involved with an organization and encourage others to do so as well. There's a variety of organizations out there, some of which I've already mentioned. World Health Organization, Obesity Coalition. These are fantastic companies and nonprofit organizations that have come together to spread awareness and fight this disease. So, we have to be realistic about this. If we take these steps, it's going to help, but exactly how much of the problem of obesity is this going to cure? Well, it's not going to prevent it entirely. I mean, we have to acknowledge that plain and simple. Everybody says to prevent whichever disease is out there, but prevention isn't going to just cure everything. However, we can say this: if you take the steps necessary to prevent obesity within yourself, that's one less case out there. And in addition to this, spreading awareness and encouraging others to aid in prevention only helps. So no, it's not going to completely eradicate the problem of obesity if we take these steps necessary, but it's only going to help. So finally, visualization. What do the effects look like one way or the other? If we take these actions, what happens? And if we don't take these actions, what happens? Well, here's what happens if we do carry out this plan. It results in fewer deaths and those with disease. We actually save money, and it results in an increased quality of life. With regards to people getting healthier, it's only a good thing. And in the Center for Disease Control says the estimated annual medical cost of obesity in the U.S. was $147 billion in 2008 U.S. dollars. That's a lot of money. If we take the actions necessary to prevent obesity, that number's only going to go down. It's going to result in an increased quality of life as well. Wendy Niswander, in a patient profile by Genesis Health, lost 92 pounds. She says, today my 6- and 9-year-old granddaughters will say, Grandma, can we sit down a minute, or can we slow down? And it used to be the other way around. Meanwhile, her life has changed for the better. She can walk into any clothing store and find something that fits. She's outside more than ever, planting flowers, raking leaves, and walking her Labrador Retriever. Her husband, Arnie, a wonderful cook, has learned to prepare meals more healthily and has lost 35 pounds as a result. So not only does it improve her own quality of life, but we see that it improves the quality of life of others as well. Finally, what we're going to look at is what happens if we don't take these steps. Well, I'll just give you a warning. It's not pretty. People are going to continue to die. In a study taken from The Lancet, from USA Today article, Nancy Helmich writes, the percentage could rise from 32% of men who were obese in 2008 to around 50% in 2030, and from 35% of women in 2008 to between 45 and 52 in 2030. So the numbers are on the rise. If we don't do something to stop this, people are just going to continue to die. We can be assured that more money is going to be spent, like we talked about, and the quality of life will only go down. So, in conclusion, I hope that I've shown you the problem of obesity and the implications behind it and the appropriate actions we need to take in order to prevent it. We've covered how obesity is a problem that must be combated, what the appropriate steps are in order to combat this disease, and what it looks like if we take these steps and what it looks like if we don't. Thank you.